don't give a damn. If the rhymes don't fit, the DJ quit. This song don't give a damn. You can't sing or dance to it, can't romance to it. This song ain't arrogant. If you don't try it, buy it. Or if your radio denies it. Don't care about who got what's cool on TV or what spot's hot, I forgot. I ain't mad at evolution, but I stand for revolution. Get up. Enough is enough. Hey, somebody stand up. Come on. Get up.
Peace. This is the Enemy's Public, and I'm Bro.Nasir. Today I want to speak about 17-year-old Elijah Amin, a young brother who was just out. Same scenario, different weapon. Okay, out in Peoria, Arizona, going to get him some soda, 2 o'clock in the morning. And Michael Paul Adams murdered this young brother in cold blood, and the excuse that he gave was that he feared the young brother's hip-hop music. The brother was listening to hip-hop as he pulled up in his vehicle to go to the convenience store. Now, Michael Paul Adams said that the hip-hop music frightened him and that he was attacked by Latinos, blacks, and Native Americans. Isn't that ironic? He was attacked by blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans while they were listening to hip-hop. So the hip-hop music frightened him. So he lunged at the brother, stabbed him in his back, and then slit his throat. And the brother later died after being rushed to the hospital. Now, this devil's lawyer said that he, upon being released 2 days earlier from prison, from Arizona State Corrections, he was homeless, he was suffering from mental illness, he had ADHD, and according to Arizona State Corrections, this man had no mental illness. So that's what they always try to use as an excuse for murdering one of our children. Now, this was a child. He was a young man, but he was a child, 17 years old, listening to hip hop, and it was a murder sentence just listening to hip hop. I don't understand what it's going to take for black men, for us. I'm not going to say them and not myself, for us to deal with these situations. They're slamming our daughters to the ground right in front of their mothers. They're putting their knees to our daughters' backs while she's wearing 2-piece bikinis at pool parties, and not even being reluctant or apprehensive of touching her. And now, again, because they've been murdering our people. George Zimmerman murdered Trayvon Martin. Laquan McDonald was murdered by the police. And now this young brother, because he's listening to music, again, was murdered, stabbed, and his throat slit. Our young brothers need to be mindful where they're at. Use your phone, and if you need to, use your fist. Pick something up, and you try to knock the enemy's head the hell off. And you hit him until he stops moving. As long as he's moving and have breath in him, you keep hitting him. I'm not saying going out being the aggressor, never be the aggressor. But if one of those devils get too close to you, meaning that you feel threatened by his presence, if he's a little too close for comfort, pick something up and try to knock his damn head off. Because this is happening too often. Our young brothers and sisters being murdered by some cracker who feel that he has the privilege and he can determine who live and die. Now, the stand your ground law gives crackers the right to start shit, and then when they get their ass kicked, pull a weapon out and use it. And then they're saying they're standing their ground, yet they were the aggressor. And police are riding with that. Because there's no black people standing their ground. You don't hear any black people standing their ground. I saw one brother standing his ground on behalf of a sister. A pregnant sister was being harassed by some white supremacists, and the cab driver, who was a brother, who was armed, he didn't use the weapon, but he punched the devil in his face and got him up off the sister. He pulled his gun but didn't use it. The devil hit him and he hit him right back. That's what you're supposed to do. Hit him right back. Yet, if one of these devils come too close to you or put their hands on you, you have every right to defend yourself, and defend yourself to the fullest. Try to decapitate that devil. Yet never be the aggressive one. Never be the aggressive one. Don't be the aggressor, but be very counter-aggressive. Because these devils feel like they got privilege, that they could come up to us, like Christopher Kukor could come up to us and ask us our name, and we have to give it to him because we're visiting a friend or we're waiting for a friend to come down and greet us. He comes up to the brother, Christopher Kukor, brother Wesley Michael. He comes up to the brother and asks the brother what's his business at the building. We don't have to tell these devils nothing. Lawfully, you don't even have to tell the cops your name if you're not a suspect in a crime. Yet they'll use that to get your name and your information. Yet they have to tell you what crime you're suspected of. But they'll still use that as a way of getting information from you. Yet you have regular so-called citizens who are white walking up to brothers and sisters and demanding that they tell them their name and where they're going. Now, Christopher Kukor's little son has more sense in his pinky than he have in his whole damn body. He actually said he agreed with Brother Wesley and to leave him alone. Dad, I don't like this. I agree with him. Why are you doing this? Repeatedly. Yet, white supremacy and his so-called white privilege trumped everything his little son said. Now, Brother Wesley Michael is a lot different from I am, because I would have told him once to back up off me. And that big ass nose that he got would have been crushed. His son would have witnessed something that he would remember for the rest of his life, because I would have told him to back up once. Leave me alone, I'm not bothering you, I'm waiting for my friend. I don't have to tell you who my friend is, I don't need to tell you who I am. Back up off me and go about your business. Enjoy your day with your son. Your son's pulling on you, telling you to leave me alone. It's best that you listen to your son. Yet these devils will put their children in harm's way. Because just imagine if Brother Wesley Michael was up to no good. Just imagine. He would have put his son, Christopher, the asshole Kukor, would have put his son in harm's way by being in somebody else's business when they can just be out doing what they're supposed to be doing, or enjoying their outing together. It's only one way to stop this behavior. One way. And it's the way they understand. I'm not advocating being the aggressor, but sometimes you have to whip somebody's ass. Straight up. You have to whip somebody's ass. Whipping somebody's ass don't make you the bad person. It don't. Especially when someone's aggressing you. Now these idiots go out their way to try to make you feel like you're under them and their feet is on your neck and on your back and you're supposed to capitulate to them? Hell no. I'm just happy that don't happen where I'm from. I don't. I'm just happy because if that was Jersey, it'd have been a different dynamic and a different scenario because cats in Jersey don't play that nonsense. They don't play Koreans jumping on sisters and beating sisters up and doing what they do in these other states. Brooklyn's a short way from where I'm at, but it's a total different narrative and dynamic. That Korean or whatever nationality that Joker was would have never did business in the area he was in again. He'll be scared because we would have rolled him out and we would have protected that sister. It would have been a big thing and it wouldn't have been no yelling and chatting. No, we don't do that. We don't yell and chat. Not when somebody put their hands on. Once you put your hands on somebody, that's a different dynamic. We don't play that. Yet, Negroes will jump all over each other for little or nothing. You drink the last of the Kool-Aid or you use the last of the hot sauce. Somebody get beat the hell up for that. But when young brothers are stabbed to death by racists, we do nothing. We need to start patrolling and walking our streets again. That's what we need to do in protecting our children because our children are being murdered. Now, this guy walked up into a convenience store, lunged at a 17-year-old brother for listening to music, stabbed him and slit his throat and left him for dead, and he eventually died. Imagine this young man's parents, how they feel. Now, a mother has to bury her son because of the type of music he listened to. That's utterly ridiculous. It's sad, but it's more sad on our part because you know why? We chill until the next episode. We'll march, we'll yell and we'll scream and we'll go to his brother, expecting his brother to do something about him. Now, you see the lawyer already caping. The lawyer already saying mental illness. They throw mental illness. No. He needs a size mental 13 on the back of his damn neck, stumping his ass out. And I pray there's a welcoming committee when he go back to prison. Because for one, he should have never been let out of prison. He was out of prison 2 days before he murdered this young brother. Yet, you got Christopher Kukor walking up to black men who's just going to pick up his friend at an apartment building, asking him where he's going, and then calling the police because he feel that Brother Wesley is supposed to comply and capitulate and do what he tell him to do, all because he's a big pointy-nosed cracker. That's enough for us to listen to him and comply to him. Don't get it twisted. All white people are not crackers. There's a difference between a white man and woman and a want-to-be cracker. A cracker is someone who wants to crack a whip, who wants to put you in a slave condition and he as your master. All white people are not like that. But that particular person is a cracker. He's a wannabe cracker and he's mad that he's not a cracker. He's mad because he don't have a whip. Being a cracker don't got nothing to do with the color of your skin. Just so happened that the wannabe crackers is white people trying to crack a whip on black men and women and children. Because It's a lot of white people who speak to this and speak up out against this. So don't get it twisted. Don't pull he's racist. Don't pull that, because there's a lot of white people speak out against this. But I'm supposed to speak out against this, like everyone else. This young brother was murdered over music. And Christopher Kukor's son was put in danger by his own father. He ignored his son's sensibility. Dad, don't do this. I don't like this. Saying it, you can't get more clear. The young man is obviously intelligent. He said, Dad, I don't like this. Let's go. Don't do it. Pleading. And his father didn't give a damn about his son pleading to leave this man alone. Our enemy is public. I'm going to state this on every video. Our enemy is public. Out in the open. They're not covert. They're overt. In your face racism. In your face hate. Now, I wonder what Mr. Trump would say about the situation. I wonder if there's a good person on both sides of Elijah Amin being murdered by Michael Paul Adams. Is he a good person? Is there a good person on both sides of this, Mr. Trump? Agent Orange? Is it? Or is Michael Paul Adams a bad person? Or is the young brother a bad person for listening to hip-hop music? When, hip-hop music is distributed primarily, if it's on a record label, by your people. We may have a label, we may produce the music, but it's distributed by you and your people. So if Michael Paul Adams have a problem with hip hop, he should go to the radio and record executives and tell them that he has a problem with it. But it wasn't a problem with hip hop. He went out 2 o'clock in the morning to find him somebody to murder because he's a murderer. He just got out of prison 2 days ago before he did the murder. He was out of prison 2 days before he killed their young brother. And he wanted to kill him somebody black. And a black young man just so happened to be Elijah Amin. It sounds like a Muslim name to me. I know it's a Muslim name because I have a son named Elijah Kareem. But he killed Elijah Amin over music. So he say. He killed him because he was black. So Native Americans, Latinos, and black people attacked him. They put some hip hop music on and attacked him while listening to hip hop music. I guess they stumped his ass to the beat, huh? Need to stop playing. For our people, we need to protect our women and our children. Brothers, we need to protect our people, our women and our children, because they're coming after our children. What next? They're gonna start flipping over baby strollers? What next? They're trying to see how far they can push us, and we need to stop being nice with these devils. If somebody speaks to you in a certain language, learn that language. And do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Treat people the way you want to be treated. And if that don't work, treat them how they treat you. Until next time, this is the enemy's public. Because our enemy is indeed public, and this is Bro.Nasir. Peace.